what is an excellent entrepreneur?
So that's a really great question. And it's funny because I think depending on the conversations that I have, my answer might actually change.
Okay, why? Is that because the audience is different or you're in a different mood yourself?
I deal with some of the smartest people in the world, right? And so in working with that group, I'll see something and it will influence my perspective. But if you look at one of the things that nearly every truly exceptional, excellent entrepreneur is masterful at, it's their data, right? They're able to know their data, but not just know data. Like when I speak to hundreds of companies a week, right? And so there's a difference between saying, oh yeah, no, we know our profit and our revenue, or, we know how many leads, we know our website traffic, all that other stuff. But data needs to have context in order for it to be relevant. And so let's take marketing as an example. Many people tend to think that they do marketing, but you can't actually do marketing, which is an interesting, you can't do, it's like me saying I do doctor. Like you can't do marketing. I just had this conversation with the CEO of a $500 million company, and I said, so, all right, you say you do marketing. Let's put this contextually so we understand how effective you, quote unquote, do marketing. Marketing is a function of how you create, capture, nurture demand. So how effectively are you at creating demand? And he looked at me with this blank stare in his face. He's like, I don't know. I go, okay, so how effective are you at creating demand? Thousands of leads per week, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, got it. What about nurturing that demand? How effective are you at nurturing demand? They didn't have an answer for that. And so I said, well, then what we're looking at here is that 2/3 of your entire marketing function is operating in the dark. And that was a big eye opener for him. So, if you look at entrepreneurial excellence, those who are the best of the best that have all their data, it's very quick to be able to know what's working, what's not working, where you need to, what needs your attention, and where opportunities exist and so forth. So, I'd say that's the common denominator between everybody.
So to dig into that a little bit further, right, just make sure I really understand it. When you say it's actually the best entrepreneurs are the ones who know all the parts of their data. Maybe just to add some words for you, it's sort of saying, once again, like someone might know, okay, well, how much revenue did I make or what my costs are? But you're saying really good founders have a good handle on, hey, I know a lot of the key metrics for marketing, or I know all the key metrics for my product. Like they actually can tell you offhand, like, yep, boom, I know what's happening here. I know how long this is taking. Is that what it is? When you say know their data, it's like all the key parts of the business data.
So there's contextualized data, right? So it's, for everything from, we talked about how effective are you creating, capture, nurture demand, so contextualized data. And then, if I look at you and I say, okay, do we have the right people in the right seat? Like you'll know that answer if you have data, if everybody on the team has a KPI. But even when we talk about that, like it has to be contextualized in the right format. So, we work with a lot of companies. Most of them tend to be agencies. Some of them start around the 6-figure range with us, but 7 and 8 figures is where, a lot of them really our sweet spot is. But when we look at this and we say, do we have the right people in the right seat? And, do they have KPIs? And when they look at the KPIs, it's like, okay, we actually need to understand that KPIs actually have to be formed in the right way. And just to kind of paint this picture for you. So as CEO, you would be on the right-hand side of an equal sign. If you think about a math formula, you would be on the right-hand side of the equal sign. The people that reporting to you will be on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So it would be this person plus this person plus this person would equal yours, which would be revenue and profit, right? So what needs to happen? What are those key KPIs that equal revenue and profit? And then those people, now they move to the right-hand side of the equal sign, and the people reporting to them are now on the left-hand side of the equal sign. This plus this plus this. Not only does that help to contextualize the data and everybody sees how their role plays an integral part in the overall growth of the organization, but what it also does is when it comes to hiring, you hire for the KPI. You don't hire to get more stuff off your plate. You hire specifically, for the KPI. What is it that you're trying to solve? Because that helps to define this is not only your North Star, but these are the expectations, both in activities and skills and abilities and all that other stuff that needs to happen to make sense.